Now, I've been on audition panels for musicals, and I reckon every actor should be on the panel at least once to see things from the other side. So here are 9 things I've learned from the other side. Hi, I'm Scott. You're watching Inside Musicals, the channel for all things musical theatre. Now, some people just prefer self-filming to in-person auditions these days. It feels more controllable. You're in your space, your time, you choose the take you want and send it off. Now, on the downside, there's no feedback, no second chances. You can't read the room, you can't ask questions. There's no trying it a different way or showing them something else. But at some point in a successful audition, you're going to be in the room with these people. And on a musical, that can mean director, musical director, choreographer, producer, multiple producers, assistants, the rehearsal pianist, maybe a stage manager. There could be other actors within earshot, or if this is a cattle call, they're in the room with you. And that can feel intimidating. But it's important to remember the people on the panel are not the enemy. They want you to be good. Occasionally there's some a-hole who's intent on ruining your day, but mostly they're on your side. They want to see the best of you. You think you're stressed, they're stressed, the pressure's on. They need to cast this thing. But if you're good, if you're what they're looking for, their job is done and they can relax. I was on a casting panel where we cast the whole show except one of the leads, and we had to cancel the entire show, come up with a new production. I mean, that's stressful. So don't give them a reason to worry. Try putting them at ease. See if that changes your perspective. And for the same reason, don't eyeball the panel through your entire song or monologue. It's uncomfortable. They need to write notes, consult with each other, and maybe they want to listen rather than watch. And they can't do that if you're expecting them to eyeball you back. Even when it doesn't look like it, they are paying attention. The better choice is to play to an imaginary audience beyond the panel, or maybe to another character on the stage. And you can include them, glance at them, but don't linger. Mind you, it can work the other way as well. I once had a singing teacher who sat in the front row of concerts doing this. You know, there's such thing as too much encouragement. Now, if the panel's given you something to prepare, I guarantee they're going to see the same audition over and over. And that's going to be the most obvious reading of the text. So bring something that's not on the page. I mean, that doesn't mean obtuse. It should be relevant to the scene, but maybe not immediately obvious. So when you're rehearsing, start with the obvious, but then ask, what else is there? What are the possibilities? What unexpected thing can make more of what is on the page? The mark of great actors, singers, comedians are those choices that the rest of us just don't see coming, or that we're afraid to pursue. That's their brilliance, their boldness, and that's what stands out. Now, anyone can read words out loud. Most actors can give it feeling, but 95% of the time, it's all going to be the same. They're going to blend in. So how can you stand out? Or to get the ideas flowing, play a game of contradictions. If the scene is furious, find some flirtation. If it's despair, find a laugh. If it's romantic, find some you. I mean, tango's built on it. Who doesn't love a good tango? Look, if you're not right for a role, playing it safe is not going to get you cast. But if you can push it to the edge, even if it's not what they were looking for, you'll be more interesting to them. They'll remember you. And then you'll stand out. So play auditions for the long game. And look, if you are right for the role, then this is just a slam dunk. I don't even know what that is. Is it a drink? Sounds like a drink. Is that the one in the big glass? Now, some of the worst auditionees are not the ones with no talent. It's easy enough to nod politely and wish them well. The worst are the ones with talent who are desperate to draw attention to their skills but leave you cold. They don't connect. And it's so frustrating because it's really hard to turn that around at an audition. So go in there to entertain rather than impress. I mean, this is the entertainment industry. It's what you're going to be employed to do, so take the opportunity to do it. If you can give them a genuine laugh, a genuine tear, a genuine shock, or a wow moment, you've already won them over. Because they're not only asking, are you right for this character or this production, they're filing it all away. Would I like to work with this person in the future? Would they bring something of value to a production? So again, play the long game. Consider this mindset. If this were a performance rather than an audition, could you entertain them? Could you thrill them in under 2 minutes and enjoy it? And if the material you've chosen is not up to the task, time for new material. But hey, you know what a panel really hates? Excuses. Never make excuses at an audition. We've heard them all before. I'm still getting over a cold. I didn't really have time to prepare. Whew, so nervous. Now, if you have a cold and it's affecting the sound of your voice, they'll hear. They'll make allowances. If it's not affecting the sound of your voice, it's irrelevant. it's an excuse. Now, if you didn't have time to prepare, what are you doing at the audition? You're wasting my time. And if you're nervous, you're not the only one. These are what we call insurance policies, sympathy calls. And what you're really saying is, this is going to be shit, but I want you to imagine that I'm better than I am. What I want is special treatment. And to that, I would say, go f*** yourself. If rehearsal is where you show me how you're going to perform, an audition shows me how you're going to rehearse. And if what I'm getting is excuses rather than action or effort, I simply wouldn't hire you. And I've learned that from experience. One of the best pieces of advice I was ever given was never let the audience feel sorry for you. Let you feel for the character, not the actor. But here's a practical tip. Prepare some questions in advance. Questions show that you're engaged, but more than that, they can give you an edge at the audition. I mean, think about the most obvious question. What are you looking for in this character? You're allowed to ask. It doesn't have to be a mystery. You don't have to read their minds. But the answer can help you tailor your song or monologue accordingly. I mean, maybe your question's about the style of performance. Are you looking for a classical or a modern approach? But whatever it is, keep it concise. It should be specific to the audition and not general chit-chat. It's not always easy to come up with questions when you're nervous, so do some homework. Because if they like what they see, they'll want to keep you in the room. Do you have any questions? That's your cue to show them how you work. But whatever you do, don't ask who I have to screw around here to get a job. Apparently it's frowned upon. I'm not telling which side of the panel I was on for that one. Next up, listen. Listen, listen. So important I have to say it 3 times. Let that sink in. If you get feedback at an audition, don't dispute it. Take it on, process it, put it into action. If you don't understand, ask some questions. And practice spontaneity with your prepared pieces. You don't want to be so set in the delivery of a song or monologue that you can't make adjustments when asked. I was on the panel for a production of Sweeney Todd, and the guy walks in. He didn't really look like Sweeney. He was opera trained, but his vocal delivery was a bit twee, a little rigid. But there was something about his timbre that just spoke to me. So I said to the director, can we work with him a moment? So I gave him some specific direction. I gave him a purpose for the song and asked to make it more conversational. And he blew us away. So we cast him as Sweeney, and he was brilliant. But had he not listened, had he not been flexible, he wouldn't have made it past the audition. Now here's a wild card to throw in the mix. Hone your party tricks, but they better be good. Now sometimes you're right for the role, or at least you would have been had the last guy not been a little more right. But they like what they see, and they say, what else have you got? Now in musical theatre, we should all have at least 20 songs at performance level that we can do at a drop of the hat. So instead of that romantic ballad, you can do one of those songs. Or, and this is the wild card, maybe you do impressions. Maybe you do stand-up. Maybe you have a kick-ass tap routine that's going to blow their socks off. Like I said earlier, entertain them. Give them a reason to keep watching. Maybe it's the thing they don't see coming that makes their day, that makes you memorable. So even if there's not a role for you in this show, they'll find something for you next time. But a warning, if you're going to play this left-of-field thing, play this wild card, it'll better be so brilliant, so playful, that the worst that can happen is they say, well, that's not what we were expecting. Thank you. What else have you got? And you've kept them interested. Look, auditions can be tough. We want that job. I mean, that's what we train for. And rejection can be crushing. So give yourself a goal for the audition that has nothing to do with getting the job. A yes or a no is not always a reflection of our performance, our potential, our worth. And it could be as arbitrary as, well, you didn't fit the costume. So set a benchmark that you can be proud of, regardless of the outcome. I mean, yes, we'd rather get the job, but did you achieve something you've never done before? Did you make a genuine connection? Did you get through the dance audition without punching the dance captain? Because that's a good day. You want to know how to choose an audition song? You want more audition tips? Leave me a comment. And with that, I wish you a good day. Thank you so much for watching. I do love you. Even if you're a dance captain. Get out there and be brilliant.